I want you to take a second and list out all the things that are frustrating you in your life right now. Now I want you to take a second and list out all the things that you're thankful for. I bet it was easier for you coming up with a list of things that frustrate you, that make you stressed, that make you feel anxious right now. There was a guy named Paul who wrote the book of Philippians, and he wrote it when he was under house arrest. And some of you might feel like you're under house arrest right now, but I assure you that Paul had it worse. And one of the reasons why is because he had no Wi-Fi. And I'm pretty sure that our teens can handle anything as long as they have really strong Wi-Fi. In chapter 4 of Philippians, Paul says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, even this one that we're in, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. You might be thinking that the Bible says, don't be anxious, just pray about it. But Paul is actually a lot more specific than that because he uses the word thanksgiving. And actually what we find is that the word anxious and the word thanksgiving are in the same sentence in the Bible. And there's a reason for that. It's because being thankful changes our mindset. It changes everything about the way that we think, the way we see our trials, and it reminds us of who's actually in control of our lives. There's a story in Luke chapter 17 where Jesus is walking to Jerusalem, and while he's walking, he sees a group of 10 people who have leprosy. And leprosy is like a curse to have back then, because if you were suspected of having the disease, you had to go see a high priest. And the high priest would inspect your entire body. And if they found it on you, then you were going to be shunned and banned from being in society. You went into a permanent quarantine and you were destined to die alone. Now this group of 10 lepers desperately cried out to Jesus saying, Jesus, please heal us, have mercy on us. And Jesus says, I want you to go back to that high priest. Go back to that priest who sent you out here in the first place. And it says that as they went back to see him, they were healed. They were cleansed of this. That's like saying, go back to the COVID-19 test site. Show them a miracle. Show them how you are healed. But this is where the story takes a turn. Because out of 10 of them, it says that only one came back to Jesus, fell at his feet, and said, thank you. And Jesus looks at him and says, where are the other 9? It is not in our nature to be thankful. Here's something to think about. What if you woke up today and the only thing you had was what you thanked God for yesterday? Sometimes we can be blessed with so much, and the only things we focus on are the things that we don't have. I want to challenge you in your mindset right now. And maybe you want to open up the Note app on your phone and make a list. Take inventory of who and what you're thankful for right now. So maybe there are things in our lives that we take for granted every day. Maybe it's not things as much as it is people. And there are countless times when we take God for granted and we forget just how good He is to us every day. I mean, when you trace back in your life of all the difficult times, you'll see how God has provided for you and protected you. And that applies to right now in your life. Maybe when this is over, you're just gonna run out of your house and you're gonna go back to your life. But how many of us will stop and thank God? So I wanna challenge you and encourage you with this. Don't be part of the 9. Be the one that comes back to Jesus and says, thank you.